All right, well, tell me about this big ass deer that's up on your wall. How many points is that thing?
So that is actually a Utah elk.
Oh, it's an elk. I thought it was a deer. Yeah, I couldn't see it that well, but wow.
Yeah, he's a 12 pointer. He's actually an 11. Number 12 decided to break off when he tumbled down the side of a cliff after we hit him. So he was courtesy of a veteran nonprofit that takes Purple Heart recipients out and puts them on a hunt. A good friend put me in contact with him, and it was a trip of a lifetime.
How much meat you get out of him?
Oh my goodness! So I went with there were two of us that went, and we ended up putting all the meat in about 6 coolers. And yeah, there was so much meat that the back of the van was just skidding on the back wheels all the way from Utah to North Carolina, and like a good old comedy skit.
Would you have it on dry ice, or how'd you keep it cool?
Yeah, we had all the coolers packed with dry ice and changed them out every couple rest stops.
Do you know how many pounds you ended up with?
Oh man, I think so. Uh, when we weighed mine alone, he was, I want to say, 300 pounds.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost as big as me. Yeah. so, yeah, I have 150 acres up in Pennsylvania, and I had the guy from Penn State Forestry Outreach. They'll come out for free and give you, tell you about your trees and all that stuff, and there was deer everywhere. He said he'd been 20 years in the business and had never seen so many. It was whitetail in that area, and I said, "This is awesome because I love I love deer meat." So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's awesome. And then you went you really like travel. I was looking at some of your videos, and now some of the what I'm going to say next could probably get me in deep trouble if it was out of context. But you said, look at all those beautiful racks.
Yeah, it was meant to be a little play on words
Yeah, I
there
know.
to get
So
you.
this wasn't a bikini contest, folks. This was a crazy looking arch in Jackson, Wyoming. But part of what you do allows you to travel, right?
Correct.
That's a lifestyle business. Have you really taken advantage of it?
Not to its fullest. No, we're still hitting the ground running.
Who's
And
we? Who's we?
well, me and my wife mostly, and then I've got an entire support team behind me that does all the fulfillment, and so it's more than just a one-man show here.
Mm-hmm.
But the primary of the business is just myself and my wife. Yeah.
Now, you've made some bold claims in some of your ads that you can transform people and get them married and do everything and have them rich and multi-millionaires in 5 minutes. I think that's what it said. Maybe I'm mistaken, but what's the 5 minute thing you're doing?
No. So the 5 minute thing there is it's not an internet guru, not an overnight success, not not riches and minutes. It's just a statistic, really. And so what we really focus on helping veterans with is entire systems to help grow their business. There's a lot of fly-by-night marketers who, anybody will run you a Facebook ad or anything. But the 5 minutes comes in not the ads or not the traffic, but how much time you have to follow up with somebody who's interested in your business if you actually want to have the biggest chance at converting somebody from a maybe to a paying customer. You've got 5 minutes by the time they reach out to you in whatever form that is. And if you do it within that 5 minutes, you're almost 400% more likely to convert a prospect into a customer.
Yeah, and that's why that book that I gave out, that automation book, there's just the whole book didn't save me 8 million keystrokes. It was one tip, and I'll give it to everybody right now. There's a program called Short Keys, and it's that's for the PC. For the Mac, it's called Keyboard Maestro, and it's a macro program. So I can put 2 keystrokes in and it'll type War and Peace if I wanted it. So I can answer people instantly with complex answers to the questions, because I get them all the same ones all the time, and I'm sure you do too. So